Hi, everyone. Welcome and thank you for joining the Educational Studies program presentation. My name is Dr. Annette Juan Hernandez, and I am the Academic Program Director for the Educational Studies program. A little bit about myself. I celebrated my 17th year here at LMU this past fall, which is very exciting. All in all, I have about a 22-year career in the field of education. And I am a proud alumna of LMU, not once, but twice. I completed my undergraduate degree in business, and I got my master's degree in teacher education here in the School of Ed. So I know I'm a little biased, but I would say that LMU and the School of Ed are truly special places to be, and they helped me become the educational professional that I am today. So I'm very grateful and I'm happy to give back and be in this kind of role. Excuse me. Everyone calls when you're in Zoom meetings. Apologies for that. But yes, the School of Education helped me become the educational professional that I am today. And I'm happy to be here trying to give back to all of you in hopes that you'll join us as well. So I have a few slides that I've prepared to go over and talk to you about the program. A slight agenda, but really more so topics that we will talk about tonight. But most importantly, I want to make sure I answer all of your questions. So please feel free to use the chat. I will address those questions when I'm done. And also we can have a discussion at the end, and I'm happy to address any questions you have at that point as well. So here at LMU, we are where you want to be if you aspire to make real change. Real change we find is in alignment with our conceptual framework known as REAL. And in our efforts to prepare and develop real educators, we aspire to do 4 very explicit things. To develop change agents in education who respect and value all individuals and the unique perspectives and contributions that they offer. Change agents who can educate by integrating not only theory, but practice, so that we know not just what to do, but why we're actually doing what we do. Change agents who are going to advocate for access to a rich, culturally relevant, equitable, and socially just educational opportunity, experiences, and outcomes for all, and agents who truly lead in order to facilitate transformation. So our hope is that every single one of our programs, in this case, educational studies, every class you take in the program, every experience that you have is designed with these principles in mind. And ultimately, it's our hope that you are going to infuse these practices into your professional practice with students, with schools, with communities, in whatever capacity you think you're going to incorporate and develop and impact change. Real change truly starts here in our School of Ed as we seek to create the kind of world that we all want to live in. Some numbers that I thought would be important to share with you. A lot of our hard work in the School of Education, our faculty, our staff, our community partners, put a lot of time and effort into what we're doing. And it's always exciting and reaffirming when you notice your efforts are paying off and others acknowledge it as well. So beyond the significant impact that we have on the quality of teaching, learning, and leading that's taking place in our school and our communities, we're also being recognized and honored for our efforts. And some of those include being the first School of Education in the state of California to receive national accreditation through the Council for the Accreditation of Educator Preparation. Currently, we are one of the only 2 schools in the entire state of California that have actually pursued and received national accreditation through CAPE, which is the acronym for the council. We also recently earned national ranking amongst the Jesuit schools of education. And not recently, we've had this ranking, but we're currently ranked 2nd. In the state of California, we are also ranked 2nd amongst all private schools of education, and we're just behind Stanford. Additionally, LMU is 7th amongst the top 10 of all schools of education in California. And LMU is ranked 70th, or basically the top 5% of all schools of education in the country. And some of you might be wondering why these numbers matter. So just to put a bit of that in perspective, there are close to 5,300 colleges and universities in the United States. Of those 5,300 colleges and universities, 1,200 of them have a school or college of education that offers preparation programs, education preparation. So that is a lot of educator preparation programs, and it's important to be able to distinguish amongst those that offer the best opportunities for high quality preparation. So I thought to share these with you to see how LMU School of Ed ranks amongst those 1,200 schools and colleges across the country. So we're pretty excited about that. All right, how does the Educational Studies program specifically work at LMU? So the Educational Studies program is a 2-year hybrid program. Hybrid meaning that there are courses that you will take in person. There are also courses that you will take online. There is opportunities to take the full program in person. I don't think you can take the whole thing online, but there's definitely opportunities to take a majority of your courses online if that suits your schedule. It is a 30-unit program, and it does offer maximum flexibility in that you take a lot of coursework that suits your interests and your passions for what you are trying to accomplish. We do have small class sizes. I'd say our average class size is anywhere from 15 to 20. The courses that you take are going to be centered on your specific goals and objectives in terms of what your ultimate career aspirations might be. You are going to choose from a selection of classes offered across the 3 School of Education departments. And there is an opportunity to take coursework outside the School of Education in case you have aspirations to learn a bit more, say, in business. I know we've had a couple students interested in film. So you can take a maximum of 2 courses outside the School of Education. That must be done in consultation with your academic advisor. Sometimes approval has to come from me as the director as well, but you do have the opportunity to explore outside the School of Education for up to 2 courses. Important to note that the teaching credential is not required for this program, but also you will not earn a teaching credential by completing the Educational Studies program. If you're interested in earning a credential, we have multiple pathways and options for you to do that, but this is not the program for you in order to earn your teaching credential. Some highlights of the program: you will have a dedicated advisor. If you haven't learned already, there is an enormous amount of support that you receive from the LMU School of Education, from admissions, through advising, through faculty and staff in your program, through career and professional development once you're complete. So there's a lot of support. So in this program, you will have a dedicated academic advisor. The program is designed around a full-time working schedule. So all of the courses are taken Monday through Thursday, and they are offered in the evening times. So you'll have a class either at 4 p.m. or at 7. We offer fall, spring terms, and then we have 2 summer terms. In the fall, spring, those semesters are 16 weeks each. So your class is only going to meet for 1 night a week. So if you scheduled accordingly, you could be taking courses on Tuesday nights back to back, and Tuesday would be the only night that you would have to engage in coursework at LMU for the program. In the summer, we do offer 2 terms. Each of those are only 8 weeks, so it's half the duration of a regular term. In order to meet for the same amount of class times, in the summer, our classes do meet twice a week. So you would be meeting on a Monday, Wednesday pattern, or you would be meeting on a Tuesday, Thursday pattern. Same time slots, 4 p.m. and 7, but it would be twice a week instead of once a week. Some of the coursework and the curriculum. So there are 5 courses that are required for everyone in the program to take, and they're listed there. Then you will also take 5 additional elective courses, and that is where you will explore the offerings across our 3 departments, and you will identify particular courses that you're interested in taking. Our advisor will work with you on doing that. We'll make sure that if there are any prerequisites for particular courses that you have taken those, but you'll take your 4 core that you see up front, then you'll identify your 5 electives, and the program culminates in a capstone project, which is your final 3-unit class. All courses that you'll take will be 3 units each, so that's a total of 10 classes over the course of the 2-year program. Some of the elective course options that you're going to find across our departments include digital learning, language and culture, literacy, higher education, integrative studies, policy and administration, special education, and wellness and counseling. So these are different areas that courses are offered across the 3 different departments and different programs that allow and provide opportunities for our students to delve into their particular content areas. So you have a lot of options. All right, the application process. So the Educational Studies program admits across 3 terms. We admit in the spring, in the summer, and the fall. And in the summer, we admit across both summer terms. Each of the semesters have their own dedicated application deadline, and you can see them there. It's the 15th of a month. And I will say that these are the suggested timelines and deadlines for when applications are due. Obviously, to give your application the most attention it deserves and to give yourself the most time to get everything ready and underway with your advisor and registration, these are the dates that we recommend you have your application submitted. If for some reason there's been a delay or life circumstance that precludes you from submitting on these days, please communicate with us and let us know. We're happy to work with you and identify a potentially new admission application deadline that would benefit your timeline, as well as the ability to get you up and running within a reasonable amount of time. I noticed a question in the chat. Oh, just kidding. Okay, so those are the deadlines to apply. The admission requirements, you will want to complete the LMU graduate application. There is an accompanying $50 application fee. You will need 2 letters of recommendation, and you'll want to know who your recommenders are when you complete your application, as you will need to include their name and their email addresses. The application program called Slate, the Slate program will automatically email the 2 recommenders that you've identified to submit a letter of recommendation on your behalf. So it would be a good idea to let them know that you are applying. You ask them if they would be a recommender, so that once they receive that email from us and the program, they won't be caught off guard. So 2 letters of recommendation. You will want to provide a statement of intent, about 3 to 4 pages in length. A prompt is provided for you, so please just address the questions that you're provided. And then you also need to submit a current resume. We will need copies of official transcripts, and these should be sent to us directly from your college and university where you earned or you anticipate earning either your bachelor's degree, or if you already have a master's degree, or started a graduate program and didn't finish. We need transcripts from every college and university that you've been enrolled at. You can also send a hard copy to the address there, or the electronic delivery, which is preferred, has been provided for you there as well. The process, and I included November 15th as a deadline in case anyone here is applying in the spring. You will apply by November 15th. The graduate division receives and reviews your application. Once it's deemed complete, it then gets moved to our SOE admissions team. Once our admissions team confirms completion, it comes to the department and me as the director of the program. I will review your application. If deemed eligible, then you will be contacted to have an interview as part of the admissions process. Upon the interview, a decision will be made. Graduate division will be notified. They will then notify you of the admissions decision. And assuming all goes well, then you are connected with your academic advisor, and you begin discussing and making plans for your registration for, let's say, spring semester. And this would be the same process regardless of which term one would apply for. The only difference is obviously the application deadline would slightly change. There is my contact information. You have my email. If you do have specific questions about the program, feel free to contact SOE Admissions. A lot of the questions answered can be found in the information packet. So you have not received that yet, I would reach out to our admissions office to get the information packet and learn more details about the program. If you have questions you'd like to address with me, my email address is there for you. And there is a QR square in case you'd like to follow us on the social media platform. Any questions on any of the information shared? Yes. Is it Anait?
Yes, sorry, yeah, it's Anahi. You got it right.
Oh, no problem. Hi.
Hi. So I have a question. If I want to apply for the fall semester, you said the deadline was um it was much further in advance. It was
For the fall,
June.
June
Yeah.
15th.
So if I applied way before that deadline, like I'm saying like December, January, do I still have to wait until June to get contacted for an interview and to get through that whole process?
Great question. No, you would not. So once we do have a rolling admission process. So once your application is submitted, it gets queued in that process. What I would say is I will interview you as soon as I have made it through the interviews for the most pressing semester. So for example, if you submit in December, or let's say you submit in January, if I don't have any applications yet for summer, meaning the March 15th deadline, then I'll get started and have your interview scheduled. If I have a handful of applications for summer, I will prioritize theirs. And the minute I'm done with their interviews, I would transition to yours. But you would not need to wait until June.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You'll know far in advance if you've been admitted and you can start making plans right away. Great question.
And then I had another question about financial aid.
Yes.
Typically, what can we expect when we're applying? Is there need-based grants or is it only merit-based? And about how much does it typically cover?
So most, well, I shouldn't say most, at the graduate level, you can still, you want to do your FAFSA. There are need-based scholarships. I don't know that we have merit-based scholarship at the graduate level. For those specific questions, I would encourage you to contact our LMU financial aid office. I can drop links in the chat for the LMU financial aid. I also know on our School of Education website, we have specific scholarships. There's some endowed scholarships there that one might be eligible for that you can definitely seek to apply. We have a School of Education scholarship that one could apply for. But all of these would be, the scholarships are individual applications that you would need to submit. For the larger school-wide LMU need-based or merit-based would be through LMU financial aid, and you'll want to make sure that you submit the FAFSA. But give me 1 second. I forgot to pull that slide up with the links. So give me 1 second while I pull up that document. They're great questions.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. So dropping them in the chat now. There you go. Excellent. Any other questions? Okay, so a reminder for everyone that there are other sessions that you can join tonight. You're in the additional programs now. There is a financial aid. So on IET, that might be a good one to attend if you have the time and find out specific information in terms of the opportunities and aid available to graduate students. There is career and professional development at 6:30, and anyone here as an international student, there's a session specific for you at 7. There is an in-person campus tour. If you've not been to our campus, I highly encourage you to try and come in person. It's beautiful. I know it's something that drew me to the campus, but they also have virtual tours available as well if being in person is not an option. I believe all of these information and videos from the various sessions taking place will be available on the Open House website, which you can access at lmu.edu/open house. So definitely something that you can revisit later on if you'd like more information. I want to know if IELTS score is a must. I do believe, yes, we do need an IELTS score. I do not know the exact number. That is something that our SOE admissions office will be able to identify for you. And it would be listed in the information packet as well. Also a great question. Excellent. Yes, Anait.
Yes. So my interest, I know that the educational studies master is very broad and you can tailor it to your exact needs and what you want to study. I'm very interested in policy and research. Is that something that I can pursue with educational studies at LMU?
Yes, so we do have several policy courses. One of our strands actually is in administration and policy. So you will find that is an opportunity for you to pursue once you join the program.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Excellent. Well, I don't want to hold you any longer than necessary. You have contact information if you need to reach out. Again, thank you for joining and visiting. I hope to be able to work with you soon. If you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Have a good rest of the evening, everyone.